And now it's on the way towards football season.
I know, it's almost over now.
Because the Mets are also beat up. I don't know what in the hell is going to happen with them. Injuries are. I've never seen a team so beat up in my life. Have you ever seen a year that's been this bad?
No, and I'll tell you, it's unfortunate because it's not only the offense, it's the pitching staff, too, of course. Now, Harvey over the weekend, he's done for the season.
Cespedes is out.
With a hamstring.
Obviously, they're expecting him to come back, but he won't be in the All-Star game because of it.
Steven Matz has either a bone chip or some type of a growth in his elbow, a bone spur.
Yeah. Well, that becomes annoying, they say, and you can kind of deal with it and deal through it, but things are unraveling quickly.
Something, Syndergaard might have a chip or a spur. I mean, it's like, oh, my goodness.
Enough is enough. Stephen or Kevin is on the line now. Kevin, go ahead. You're on.
Good morning. I just wanted to say that I saw Jeff Monaski yesterday at the Media Pasta Challenge. And felt a little sorry for him because his partner apparently got lost or something. And they were looking for volunteers for him. And I don't know if it looked like Jeff was a little lost because he tried to open up his chopsticks and then he ended up breaking them. And I thought, wow, this is going to be a bad day for this guy.
I got to tell you, do you use chopsticks?
No.
Okay. How about you, Kevin?
I don't. And I'll tell you, when I felt bad for Jeff because when he broke them, I thought, oh my God, now he's going to get little shrapnels of wood in the kid's pasta, and who knows, he's going to start to choke.
Somebody's going to die of a sliver.
But he was feeding the pasta okay, and this kid, he was just kind of fed in there, so I figured Jeff probably wouldn't win. But let me tell you something: when Jeff's got a future in competitive meatball eating, because when he ate this meatball, this thing was the size of a softball, and he sucked it in all in one bite. It was like the most amazing thing. And then there wasn't a lot of people that were watching, but when he sucked in that meatball, the crowd went crazy.
That's awesome.
And I'll tell you, we still lost, unfortunately, but I appreciate that. And by the way, the kid was Chris United, who has been on the program before and plays at the Boilermaker Expo. He did a great job, but I have to admit, it was a little awkward, like feeding another guy, spaghetti. I felt like, what's the movie with the two dogs?
Oh, Lady in the Tramp.
Yeah, that's I felt like Lady in the Tramp.
It's not like you each had to put a noodle in your mouth and suck it till you came together.
No, I guess that's next year's contest.
Don't give them any ideas.
Yeah. All right, Kevin. Thanks for the update, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
How did you break the chopsticks, though, is my question.
Because the chopsticks are together.
Right.
So you have
to
break them apart. But I'm twisting, and they're not breaking.
Oh, no, you
and
don't
then
twist.
so then one
twist.
You pull
snap
apart.
lower down.
First of all, what a shame that I wasn't there, because I love using chopsticks. I never use a fork in a Japanese restaurant. We always use chopsticks, and I eat my salad with. I do things with chopsticks that the Japanese people don't do. They're looking at me. They'll be looking at me like, "No, we use a spoon for our soup." Okay, I don't know what you're doing. So I feel like I'm pretty good with those chopsticks, but you got to know you got to use them, and you got to use them somewhat frequently. Otherwise, it's something you have to. It's not difficult once you figure out how to do it.
Well, also too, what was the kind of pasta?
It was just regular spaghetti.
It was spaghetti.
But it was a lot.
But you had to feed the meatballs or the spaghetti?
I had to feed him the spaghetti
with the chopsticks.
And he couldn't use his hands, so I've got the plate right under his chin, and I'm trying to feed it.
At that point, you just shovel. You used the chopsticks.
I was shoveling the best I could, and I give him credit because he tried hard. But I mean, it was a lot of pasta. Like if I sat down for dinner, I wouldn't eat that much pasta. Yeah, it was a lot.
Who won, by the way? Was it somebody that?
It was Quadsimia.
Oh, okay. The web they do the website for the Boilermaker.
Yeah. Which the second year in a row they won.
Was it a Spina? Was it a Spina that won? He's one of the ones that works on the website. I wonder if he was
it was Dan Delachaise, who I actually know from high school, and his brother actually Dave, might be familiar with from SUNY IT and actually KTV.
Yeah.
And I forget the young lady who was with him, what her name was, but she had to get through the pasta, and she did very well.
This person said that poor Chris United is so small. I think they were scared he would puke as Jeff was pushing it in.
Yeah.
That was the big fear.
Well, and then everybody, it was a great moment when Jeff did eat the meatball and everybody started chanting, "Meatball! Meatball.
This is my old high school nickname, by the way. No, it wasn't. It was
All
not.
right, so let's talk a little bit about the security. And Christine, I know that you didn't get a chance to witness it firsthand this year, but the security was tighter. It's funny because I heard people that were, because every year I work the stage, and that is coordinating. It's very interesting because you have everybody has their job, and mine is very hyper focused on just timing. It's all about the timing, getting everybody in, and for some reason this year we had a lot of people that were canceling out, and then this. I mean, I had a lot of dropouts this year, and one of them was Senator Schumer, and I got the message. Police officer came up and said Schumer's not going to be here. Now I have him on my list, and he always goes long. Chuck Schumer always goes long.
So you were relieved.
And I'm like, all right. So I went to Jim Sestitis, and I said, Schumer is out. And he's like, okay, well, I guess we can start at 10 then. So we started late. We started late because Schumer was out. I get started, and and Jim gets on stage, and Phil gets started doing the announcements, and all of a sudden, an officer came back up and said, Schumer's back in. So now I got to bring up Schumer. I thought Jim Sestitis was awesome. He looked at Schumer and said, 1 minute.
Good for him.
It was awesome.
How close was he?
Schumer was pretty good.
Okay.
But it was that minute that really set us off trying to hit the number. Then the clock was all off, and we were slightly off with the flyover.
Yeah.
But everybody filled in, and it was awesome. It was an incredible flyover this year. But security, even hearing some people that work the backstage complain, saying, I couldn't get in this morning. They would not let me in. I've never had that problem before. Well, I'm going to tell you something. You have a pass. That pass better check out, or you don't get through. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm okay with that.
I agree.
I'm okay with the security.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Right?
And I noticed
most
even
of the runners would be too.
I agree. I mean, you're
absolutely.
bringing these are elite runners too. Let's not forget that these runners are Olympians. These people are running races every week. There's a big responsibility, I believe, for us to be able to handle this perfectly, so that security is tight, and it was tight, and I felt really good about it.
Yeah, hats off to everybody, all the volunteers and organizers, and Tim and his whole staff, and of course all the law enforcement.
And Andrew, I saw you hanging. I mean, you seemed like almost a little teenage fan.
I did. I went up to Ryan Quinn
with Ryan Quinn, and Ryan had sang he sang the national anthem, and he did an awesome job, by the way. And then he went off to the side of the stage, and he was kind of meeting and greeting with some people, and all these kids were coming up and getting his autograph. Stefan was there.
Yep.
He was signing Stefan's chest.
I pushed a little girl out of the way. Okay.
Could have. And then Andrew's pushing people out of the way. He's pushing
this
little girls
8-year-old
out of the
girl.
way. Get out of the way. It's my time. You don't butt in line. And Andrew got up there and was trying to meet up with Ryan Quinn.
Hi, Ryan.
He's such an aura of happiness, though, that he exudes.
He is a positive. Yeah.
You know, he's just a good person, and he did a great job. And
they because of security, they told him, we really like to get you in at 7 o'clock in the morning. And he said, okay, you want me in at 7, and I'm not going to sing until 10:30? And they're like, yeah. And he said, I'll get there as quickly as I can. And I think he might have been there by around 9:50, 9:45, something like that. But he sang really well. It was a great anthem and a great event, great weekend. All right, lots to come up. Again, we're going to be talking to Dave Mason, a legendary Dave Mason, coming up on WIBX.